never forget any of it. Of course, it was the biggest event in a way in my life because it was such a combination of the whole world is also on our side. Because we didn't know about the Holocaust till 1943. None of it had come out. We did not know. We knew Hitler. We heard something maybe about camps, but none of it was explicit. None of it was known. And I came home one day from high school and found my father sleeping on the floor, crying on the floor. Papa, what? And he had learned that they were really and truly, and that Rachav had been decimated, and so on and so on. And being such an active part of the whole Jewish community, he was immediately involved and was sending money to the underground because my family doesn't look particularly Jewish, and Papa's family had red hair and blonde hair, blue eyes. They crossed over and worked with the underground and pretended that they were non-Jews and worked their way down Europe to get into Israel through Rosh HaNikra in Lebanon. But Papa was sending money to the underground. They had, the Jews in America had really learned some things. And then this story happened. Because Papa was involved in the draft board, as I had told you, he went to the government in New York to ask, what does it take when the war will be over? What about the refugees from the camps? How can we get them to America? And they said they must each have an assigned apartment and a job, or they will not be allowed into the country. Papa was in the real estate business. That was taken care of. And all of Papa's friends were in the schmata business, and that was taken care of. And so he got a list, and he filled in the list, and he signed for the first boatload of refugees. And when they came in 1946, Mama and Papa went down to the boat and stood at the gangplank and hugged each one, because these were the kids who were arrested as children and were now 17, 18, 19, and they had all married each other wherever they were, Corsica and Crete and so on. And so Papa gathered them around him. You can imagine what a feeling that is, because those kids had lost family as children. And he said, what can we do to make you feel welcome in America? What would you like to do? And they said, we like to see a party. See a party, which is enough to stab you in the heart. Okay, we will have a party. We made a plan next Saturday night. And then he came home and said, Shandel, got to get together all your friends that spoke Yiddish and Russian and German, and, we could all do that. And we could all sing, So they came, and we had this big living room, and the chairs were lined up, and they sat against the chairs like this. So Papa said, what would you like? Would you like something to drink? No, they'd never had anything to drink. Well, one of them said, we would like to see you dance. So we put on a record. We were all jitterbugging away. I was pretty damn good at that. We were very happy to do this, and they were watching. Their faces didn't change much. They didn't smile and think, oh, that's great. They were just learning, really, which, with this hot music going. Then they said, now we'd like to hear you sing. So one of my friends sat down at the Steinway Grand, which of course was there, and we started singing American songs. And then a woman called Vlatka, which is a Polish name, and she was like about 40ish. She didn't look like she came from them. She looked like, in a way, she was leading them. She stood up and she said, now, would you like to hear our songs? And we all thought, Mama Shana, but we will do it, but we're going to die. And they stood up, and I'm sure everybody looking at this will imagine what kind of a song it was, that it was sad in a minor key and slow and, an epitaph in a way. This was what they sang. Sag noch einmal, als du gehst den letzten Weg, wenn Himmeln bleien verstellen bläue Tag, Kommen wird nach unser eisgebenkte Schar, uns wird der Peukton unser Trottmer sein in der. So my friends and I are all on the floor, just broken, because we were looking at them knowing it could have been us. Just by the fact that my parents met each other here, I'm here. And, well, I will translate it for anybody who's listening that isn't. It says, don't ever say that we're going down the last road when leaden skies blot out blue days, because our longed-for day will come, and you'll hear the beat of our feet. We are here. The next stanza is, this song was written with blood, not with lead. It's not a song of summer birds on the fly, but a people between falling walls sang this song with grenades in their hands. And this, of course, as you know, is the Warsaw Ghetto song. And the Ketzetlach learned it because whatever was left of the Warsaw Ghetto was thrown into the camps. So they learned this, and they cared to learn this, as gone as they were. The human spirit is, it needs to survive. It must survive. And I will never forget.